For In Motion, I'm Kurt Parker. What you are watching right now is something that had occurred Monday through Friday for more than 20 years. Something that went far beyond a weeknightly weathercast. More than just temperature readings and precipitation predictions. It was Weather World, and for more than 20 years, it was for many people just like family.
It's like we're viewers of Weather World and the people who do the show. It's like we're family, at least as far as longtime viewers are concerned. And it's hard to say why, but you see these folks every day. Essentially, they come into your house by way of television, and it's live. And their little quirks, you come to know them after a while. You know, they're folksy, but they're part of the communications process, and they're part of the bonding, I think, between viewer and the people on the show.
After 2 decades of meaningful meteorological discourse, the unthinkable happened. Weather World went off the air.
Well, I think we had known for several years that Weather World was a popular program. We knew people liked it. We liked it. We also knew that it took significant resources to produce the program, 15 minutes, 5 days a week, and that we in this new era were not able to do that and to do many of the other initiatives that we were also very excited about. So we made a decision that we could not continue to produce 15 minutes of Weather World Monday through Friday.
So about April of 2004, the decision was made that this program was not going to be able to continue. And then there was an unfolding of that information over the course of about a month and a half, and the response was enormous. I think it surprised not only us, but also the station too, with regard to the public outcry. It shows you that after 20 years, 21 years of doing the same thing over and over again, people really come to rely on you. And I don't think anybody realized how deep the support and the roots were in this program.
The saying goes, still waters run deep. That adage is quite telling when it comes to the die-hard Weather World fans. Steadfast and loyal for so many years, no one, even the Penn State Weather Group, knew what emotions would be stirred when the decision was made to end production on the long-running show.
There was certainly a feeling of sadness because I think we were all losing something of great value. The viewers were, and I think I felt something on behalf of the university because we were losing a kind of a vehicle here, if you will, for training weather communicators. So as a Penn Stater, I felt bad, and as a viewer, I felt bad.
It was very early on. I was getting new frames for my glasses and with the eye doctor. And I was talking to the receptionist, and there was a woman there across the room, and she heard my voice and came over. It was very polite and just said, it just would be devastating if you were to drop Weather World. And I think that was one of the early indications that a lot of people were going to feel very strongly about the program.
With the outpouring of emotion that followed Weather World's cancellation, the producers of the show began to see what they first viewed as the final chapter was really the start of a new one.
The only statewide distribution channel on television that we were aware of was PCN. PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, which carries a lot of government affairs from Harrisburg. But at one time in their infancy, when they were a developing network, actually Weather World was on it for a while. And so we also were trying to get in contact with them via email and waiting for messages back.
It was actually only about 2 days before the end of Weather World, it must have been the 28th of July, that the opportunity came up for us to meet with their vice president for programming. And he visited us, and we talked a little bit about it, and initially he felt like this was a good idea.
So where we came to, I think, was a tremendous win-win for all of us. In that process, the Weather World folks talked to PCN. They were willing to carry the full 15-minute version, and we were able to help them make that happen, and we're very happy that that has happened. And now Weather World is seen throughout the state of Pennsylvania and also seen here on WPSX.
With all the pieces to this elaborate puzzle starting to come together, one part was still elusive.
Well, we are really happy with the fit with having Weather World on the PCN schedule. We originally made an arrangement to run the programming through June of 2005, and during that time, from the time we signed on until June, we and Weather World would work on trying to get underwriting for the program that could keep it going. We have not found underwriting yet, but PCN, we sat down to write our budget in the last few weeks, and I thought it was something that I really wanted to include in our schedule. Now, we are a fairly small nonprofit, and we have a pretty tight budget, so we can't just write a check and keep Weather World on the air. But what we can do is take care of our portion of the expenses, which is the transmission. You know, if Weather World produces the program, we'll have a wire here in this building, in the Walker Building, to connect to the signal, and we'll get it into people's homes across the state at our expense. So we're willing to carry the expense of Weather World as far as we can because we believe in the program.
Yet with all the uncertainty of their fiscal future, there is still plenty of room for optimism.
Maybe this really was for the best, that all that we went through during that latter half of the summer in particular, in terms of our wringing our hands and really being distressed over the demise of Weather World, was worth it in the end, because they got a larger audience. More people can come to know the Weather World production, become part of the Weather World family, and it's statewide, and it's still alive, and there's still the same familiar faces, but now it can be shared with a much larger audience, and I think that's terrific.
I really think it's a brave new world out there for us. There are opportunities for us to explore that we haven't even begun to think about yet. And the most important thing is we realize that out of the angst that we felt of the show going away, we really have a whole new rebirth into an opportunity that I think will be much better for our students, and also hopefully will bring a rebirth to our relationship with WPSX.
For In Motion, I'm Kurt Parker.